the cantaloupe. Okay? That's the inside of the petal. Then what you do is you cut a parallel circle about 1/8 of an inch thick around it. Okay? And then at a 45-degree angle, you remove the flesh behind it, leaving you with the physical petal. Okay? So this is all empty now. Okay? So there's 3 cuts to make a petal. If you want to make a pointed petal, like roses have that little point on the tip, when you cut out your petal, you have to go around to a point and then down, then to a point and then down, then around, and remove this. Okay? If you want the leaves to spiral, you can either cut from this part here to make your next petal like this. Or if you want them to just be next to each other, you can just cut them next to each other. They don't have to be overlapping. It's up to you. Let's start at the edge of the center of the flower. I'm going to cut out what looks like a half circle. Okay? So everybody see the half circle? That's the inside of your leaf. Okay? So then you're going to cut parallel to that half circle, about 1/8 of an inch thick. Okay? And then now you cut at a 45-degree angle around it and remove the flesh. And there you have a round petal. Okay? So there's 3 cuts to make this one petal. Okay? So if I'm going to make a next one, I can start here. Again, cut a rounded petal. Yeah, you can be right next to it, or you can be overlapping it. It depends upon your final outcome, what you want to do. Okay? And this one is just going to be repetitive. You're just going to go all the way around.
Just one time?
No, the whole thing. So you make one layer, and then you make the next layer, and you make the next layer, and you'll keep going. Okay?
They get bigger as you go down?
Yes, they get larger as you go down. So there's less petals that you cut. On the bottom, I may only have 3 or 4 huge petals. Okay, it just depends upon what your flower you want it to look like. So this one here, I want to cut a little point on the tip. Okay? So I'm going to cut down, make a little point, cut back in, pull it out. Okay? Parallel cut. And then I remove flesh behind it. When I remove the flesh behind it, I'm not removing a piece that has a point on it, just a rounded piece. Okay? So you can see the petal has a point to it. Okay, and just go round and round and round and round. Okay, any questions? None? This one I'm going to just keep doing these rounds. Remove the round, cut parallel to it, cut behind it, just remember 3 cuts per. Removing the center, the parallel cut to define it, and then the 45-degree angle cut to remove the flesh behind it. Okay, that's your first ring of petals. Same cut. Now, your half circle here. Okay, so I cut the half circle there in between. Cut behind it to identify it, and then remove it, flesh from behind it. Gives you the next petal. Okay, and then of course this would just go follow that same pattern all the way around and around and around. Ends, and again I'm cutting this one with a point. So the same pattern, like we said earlier, hollow the center, identify it, remove flesh from behind it. Okay, so rather than starting here next to it, I start slightly behind it. And the only thing bad about the spiral is that no matter what, it's hard to get them all the same size. The petals start getting a little larger as you go, so it's hard to make it look like it's going to be a uniform layer of petals. But I like it because it allows you to get the petals larger faster, so you're able to cut the flower faster. Spiral and next to each other.